Hi everyone, happy Wednesday. So, this is the flirting versus friendliness guide that I was talking about creating a little bit earlier in the week, and I'm so happy that I was finally able to do it. And so, today we're going to be talking about something a lot of autistic adults say they genuinely wish someone had just clearly explained to them, and that's how do you actually tell if someone is flirting with you versus just being a warm, friendly person. And so, by the end of this, you're going to have a visual bubble map, a clear signal guide, and exact words that you can use in real life. And so I really hope that this helps, and let's get into it. So let's start off with why. A lot of people think misreading signals is something to be embarrassed about, but the research generally supports that this is hard, especially when much of flirting relies on indirect, ambiguous cues. And this is not a reflection of your intelligence or how much you care about others. It is about how autistic brains process indirect social signals. And once you have a clear framework, so much of the anxiety around this actually goes down. So let's define the baseline friendliness. There are six signals you can see when someone is being genuinely warm without any romantic intent. So, the single biggest thing to carry from this slide, I would say, is friendly behavior is consistent and group wide. A friendly person acts the same way with you whether or not anyone else is around, whether or not you are doing something impressive, and whether or not they actually have anything to gain. That consistency is the hallmark. In contrast, here are all six of those same signals looked at when they shift into a flirting territory. So the key change across almost every category is that it becomes specific to you. The eye contact lingers, the compliment moves more towards you, the touch is intentional and yours alone. The texting is initiated without a reason. The biggest single pattern is that they single you out. And if that is happening across multiple categories at once, that could be meaningful. So here's a side by side reference chart. This is one that you could definitely screenshot and keep on you because there's seven signal types, friendliness on the left column and flirting on the right. The key reminder here is that no single row tells the whole story. You're looking for a pattern across multiple rows. So if three or four of these land in the flirting column consistently, that could mean something meaningful. If just one does, it is probably not enough to draw a conclusion from. So here's the signal map I was talking about earlier. Think of it as like a radar you can mentally run through in any confusing social moment. So there are four signal categories branching out from the center: eye contact, touch, body language, and words and tone. For each one, the teal bubble is the friendly read, and the purple bubble is the flirting read. The bubbles dots along the lines are intentional. This is meant to feel like you are working through your own thinking in real time. If your observations in a real situation are landing mostly in purple across multiple categories, that is a meaningful pattern worth acting on. Here are four scripts for in person conversations. The first is for when you genuinely cannot tell what is happening or what you want to name it, which is brave and kind. The second is for when you want to express your own interest clearly and warmly. The third is for when you have been picking up on something, but you're not confident enough to name it yet. And the fourth is for when you want to be clear that you are not interested without ghosting, without being vague, and without making it a big dramatic thing, right? So take a screenshot of this slide because direct communication is not awkward. It is actually one of the most respectful things that you can do for somebody. Next, here are four scripts for texting and app usage, where the misreading stakes of misreading feel even higher because you cannot see facial expressions or body language. So the first script sets expectations early, which is genuinely smart and saves everyone time. The second moves a great conversation towards an actual date, which is the whole goal. And the third responds to somebody showing interest without overcommitting before you're ready. Lastly, the fourth declines without ghosting, without being cruel, and without leaving anyone confused. So, all of these center around being clear, warm, and direct, which is both effective and kind. Lastly, I wanted to include in this presentation five things that trip people up commonly. So, over indexing on one signal, treating vague social noise as a concrete invitation, ignoring context, avoiding direct questions because asking feels too forward. It's not, it's actually really efficient. And the fifth one is really important. You're allowed to misread things. You're allowed to get it wrong sometimes. Getting it wrong and handling it with grace is actually a sign of emotional maturity. That is a skill and it is one you can absolutely build on. And so that's what I wanted to share today on this Wednesday. I to just do a little brief overview. We talked about six friendliness signals, six flirting signals, a full side by side reference table, and a bubble map you can trace your observations through in real time. Expanded scripts for both in person and digital situations, and five pitfalls to sidestep. So, if you found this helpful, please continue to follow. Please continue to interact with my stuff, and I'm just so so grateful for all the engagement I've been getting on my page recently, and so I hope you enjoyed this. And I obviously believe that autistic individuals deserve these resources, and that people should talk to you directly. And so, thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you soon. Bye.